If you're watching this video and haven't watched the other Stalker Iceberg video, click off this video and watch the other one. I highly recommend you, because this is just an update video. And for those of you who are here just to watch the video, I am grateful for the support and discussion I was given in the previous video, and a special thank you from Anomalous Dugout in recommending my video, which gave it a very, very big traction. I'm extremely grateful for all of your comments and criticism, but as much as people learned new things from my video, I am human and I do make mistakes. I'm going to go through some of the entries that either I got wrong or feel like I can add more information. And as always, there's going to be spoilers, but you should know this by now.
He came, he saw, he sucked major cock. Muhahaha.
A small yet important thing I forgot to mention about C consciousness is the fact that C consciousness controls the monolith faction by brainwashing stalkers with a brain scorcher. There was also the use of agents like S.T.A.L.K.E.R at the end of S.T.A.L.K.E.R, who were sent into death trucks to come back into the zone. With the mercenaries, I mentioned previously that they were most likely funded by NATO. I honestly was thinking outside of the box and forgetting that Call of Pripyat had the mission One Shot, and where you pay homage to the One Shot, One Kill mission for Modern Warfare. The deal is with Jackal's mercenary group and an ecologist representative. Now, the ecologist group is probably a rival institute since the original ecologists are funded by the Ukrainian government. And, you know, thinking logically, it's a bit redundant, even though that the ecologist has like a good footing in Pripyat. The Universal Soldier Project were a series of experiments in Lab X-18 where Panel soldiers were exposed to the noosphere, the psi fields, and other unholy things in that facility. This created the humanoid psi mutants that are all around the zone in the game, as well as in Stalker Lost Alpha with Sin's faction. They do have a similar background as they were exposed to the scientific experiments, and also a commenter even mentioned on the previous video that beers resemble the test subjects, even with the leather coat that they wear. A lot of you actually mentioned this a while back on the previous video, and I surprisingly did not know this. Anomaly repairs refers to when you stand in an electro anomaly in Stalker Shattered Chernobyl with a bunch of shock resistant artifacts and sit around there for probably around 5 to 10 minutes, and instead of decreasing the durability of your suit, it actually increases or even repair basically your suit. It's actually pretty neat that this exploit still exists. When I was talking about Metro 2033, I mentioned that earlier builds actually used assets like voices, models, and coding structure from Stalker. What I did fail to do was properly talk about the situation between 4A Games and GSE Game World. So the earlier builds of 2033 were shown off in Leipzig Games Convention in 2006. And this caught the eyes of Sergei Grigorovich, the Pepsi man himself, and he was already on bad terms with the founders of 4A Games and accused them of using the Stalker assets. In 2010, 4A Games released a statement regarding these accusations, denying any foul play, and basically saying that they have no connections at all to GSC Game World. Even though there was going to be legal troubles coming up for 4A Games, the final project of Metro 2033 was a totally different game that was shown in 2006, which basically, you know, saved their asses. There was actually a lot of issues that the former devs of Stalker had when developing Metro, and I do recommend watching the Metro 2033 video Raycivic made, if you haven't at all. Okay, for this one, I admit this was extremely embarrassing for me to get this one wrong, but Stalker Mobile does actually have a plot. The game takes place in 2008, 3 years before the events of Stalker Clear Sky, where S.T.A.L.K.E.R was apparently a part of the Ukrainian military, and the whole plot line was Strelok trying to find his commanding officer after they crash and looking for a scientist. Later on in the game, Strelok meets Ghost for the first time, who saves his life. At the very, very end of the game, Strelok wants to know everything about the zone, and he proceeds to create the group with Ghost, which we know as, Strelok's group. The creature in the fog was a cut creature in Yantar who had zombies, mutants, and other apparitions guarding it. Its actual body was supposed to be a blob inside of a flask under the swamp in Yantar, and it uses telepathy to control the locals in the areas who come too close, sort of like the Brain Scorcher somewhat. You were supposed to kill it when you obtained the Psi Protection Kit to protect yourself from the fog's influence, and fight your way inside the mutant and zombie infested buildings till you can find where the actual body of the fog monster is. This concept was later changed into the giant brain that you see in Lab X16 in Yantar still. These are some of the recent changes and revisions on some of the things I wanted to change. The only few changes I'm not sure about will probably be listed on the screen right now. This is the stuff that I'm probably going to be trying to look at on my free time, or something that I'm completely lost about, I'm not gonna lie. And since this video is out of the way, I can work on the other Iceberg. It's probably not gonna take that long, but at the same time, it's gonna be a lot of information, so please be patient. And if you ever want to get in contact with me, I'll have my information down below. Either way, good hunting, stalkers.